Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Jessica and we are Unite Inside. We help people unite with all the parts inside of them, and in this video I will be talking about how to stop fearing judgment. Does that sound familiar? Do you have that fear? Are you afraid of other people's judgments about you? So this is a perfect video for you then. People fear judgment for so many reasons, but in this video we will go through the most important reasons why someone would fear judgment. 3 most important reasons. The first one is because they're looking for validation. Why do you think would someone even care what someone else thinks of them? Why is it that they will care so much about their opinions that they will literally consider them, that they will literally take that kind of criticism and take that kind of judgment and believe it? Why do you think they're doing that? It's because they're looking for validation. If someone is looking for validation, it's because they deep down they feel like they need to be validated constantly. And so this is a need that they have, a need to be validated, a need to know that they're okay, to know that everything is okay, everything is fine. And they're actually taking it from outside of them. They're trying to get that validation from outside of them. They're looking for it everywhere, they're literally fishing for this validation everywhere they are. That's why it matters so much what someone thinks of them. It matters so much because it is their source of validation. If someone thinks that they're, like a loser or a horrible person, they think, oh my God, like, this must mean that I am a horrible person. Because since that's their source, they trust it so much that they get their sense of self and who they are from it. So that leads us to the second reason, which is they are basically trying to understand who they are and to define themselves through other people, because they don't know who they are. And so instead of trying to be defined by themselves, by the things and the opinions that they have about themselves, instead of doing that, they don't trust themselves to do that to begin with. Okay? Most people that fear judgment, they don't actually trust themselves enough to believe what they think of themselves. And they also don't even let themselves have any thoughts or any opinions, because they're so about themselves, because they're so caught up in they don't trust themselves. They don't know if this is the right thing. They don't allow themselves to think for themselves. And so they just allow other people to think for them. And that's why, and the reason for this is because they don't trust themselves. And so that's why they rely on other people and they let themselves be defined by other people's opinions. Okay? That's because there is a lack of self-trust. There is a lack of trusting their own truth. Okay? And the reason why someone wouldn't trust their own truth is because when they were kids, it's all back to their childhood. It's always like that. So basically, someone in their childhood, like a parent or like a caregiver, they just invalidated their truth over and over and over, and they told them that because they're, their parent, and because they're responsible for them, they told them that they have to please them so that they can have that love and have that validation and have that acceptance. They taught them that they're not going to be loved and they're not going to be accepted if they are doing things that make them happy, if they're following their own thoughts, that they have to be in a box, almost like a people pleaser, so that this parent is pleased and is gonna pour them some love. This is what's going on. And so they get disconnected from their own frame, from their own self. When someone is connected to their frame, they live their life according to what makes them happy, according to, they feel validated, because we came to this world feeling validated Okay, we didn't need any validation. But the reason why someone would need validation is because they have been severely, and what I mean is severely invalidated. When someone constantly invalidates you, you feel so much like you feel like you're unaccepted. You feel like you're like you feel very discarded, and so that horrible feeling that you feel, it makes you want to find like some source of validation. And so like you can't find it through yourself because you don't trust yourself, and because you've been invalidated and your parent told you that you're not right, and so you're trying to find that validation through other people. This is really what's going on. I just wanted to like put you in the picture and just show you like what's actually going on with you and why do you fear judgment. Okay, so now that you know that this is what's going on with you, you have to know that this is why you're trying to, like, this is why you care so much about what other people think of you. This is the reason why. You care so much because you're trying to find who you are through other people. You're trying to find who you are and to see through their lens whether you're okay, whether you're a good person, all these things about yourself. You're trying to get it from other people. Okay, you're trying to gain your sense of self and your sense of validation from other people. Okay, you're also looking at the world through their lens, okay? Through their glasses, through other people's glasses and not your glasses. Why? It's because someone kept telling you that your glasses are wrong and that you shouldn't look through your glasses, and that if you do, you're gonna be hurt by them withdrawing love and withdrawing acceptance, and by them criticizing you and judging you. Actually, what happened to you is that you wasn't accepted as a kid, and instead you were severely judged, okay, for everything that you do. And so the only way out for you to feel good about yourself is to do whatever they say is right. For example, some parents will be like, the only thing that you can do is to not stand up for yourself and to just be a nice person, to just like be extremely nice. So what did you do? You became extremely nice because that meant that you're a good person. That meant that you're good and that you will have the love that you want. So first of all, that meant that you're good, okay? And two, that meant that you're going to be that you're going to get what you want, which is the validation and the love, okay? So the third reason why you fear judgment is because you have some deep shame right there. You have some deep fucking shame. You have deep shame about yourself. What I mean with it is deep insecurity, deep shame, feeling like you're wrong, feeling like you shouldn't be there. That's why that feeling is what makes you want validation. What does validation do to you? It makes you feel accepted. It makes you feel like you're okay. Validation in of itself means that you're validated, you're good. Okay, you're good. You can exist. It's actually the permission to exist, actually. The permission to be yourself. So you're looking for permission to be yourself and to exist through other people. This is what you're doing, okay? Now, let me talk about 2 steps that you can take to stop fearing judgment, that you can start taking every time if you know that you're somebody that fears judgment. The first step, okay? The first step is going to be that you need to become your own judge. What does it mean to become your own judge? I don't mean with it that you have to become the very person that judges you, the very person that gives you all this judgment. That's not what I mean. But what I mean with it is you have to refocus and recenter yourself, okay? You live in your life through other people's lens, and you have forgotten that this is your life. That if something doesn't feel right, but other people said that this thing feels right or that this thing is right, you don't have to do it because it is your life. The only thing that makes you want to do it is because you are afraid of losing something that you need from other people. So what you need to do is you need to not need other people anymore. And once you don't need their validation and you don't need their acceptance, you're just gonna do whatever the fuck you want. And I promise you, you will not give a fuck. You have to know that the only reason why you still care what any fucking person on earth cares about you is because you need their validation. You're literally living off of that validation. Become aware of the fact that you're living off of their validation. Otherwise, you will own your life. Your life belongs to you. The reason why you're basically compromising what you want, it's almost like you're compromising. You're like, oh, I'm not gonna do this because they don't like it, and then I'm not gonna do this because they don't like it, and so if I do it, then they're not gonna give me validation, they're gonna judge me. Okay? The only reason why you're not doing it is because if they don't validate you, you will feel that shame that you're running from. You will feel how ashamed you feel of yourself. So basically what I'm saying is take it to your own hands. Instead of looking for validation from them, start to validate yourself. Start learning how to validate yourself. I will be making a video about how to validate yourself. Stay tuned for that. And now that I'm saying this, you have to take it in your own hands and you start to validate yourself. Once you start to give yourself the thing that you really, really need from them, okay, you will not give a fuck. I promise you, what anybody says of you, you don't care because you're not getting triggered and you're not feeling that shame that you feel. I made a video about how to release shame. You feel free to watch it. It is in my channel. So like if you want, you have to first of all, well, I'm just showing you what you need to do, what you need to release if you want to release the fear of the fear of judgment. Yeah, the fear of judgment. So basically you need to work on releasing your shame, okay? So once you release the shame and you start to love yourself, you start to like yourself, you start to accept who you are, then I promise you, once you accept who you are, once you love who you are, why would it matter what anybody thinks of who you are? It only matters because you think that you can't love yourself. You think that you can't give it to yourself. That validation that you really want and you really need, you think that you can't give it to yourself. You think that it's only, like available in other people's opinions and what other people think of you. No, you can give it to yourself. It's hard to give it to yourself because you don't trust yourself. That's the thing. When you learn, I made a video again about self-trust, about how to trust yourself. Feel free to watch that video. And so like, you have to start trusting yourself so that you can trust your own judgments about yourself. And so that like, also so that you can release shame and you can work and heal yourself, work with your trauma and you can heal yourself the right way, okay? So this is very important if you want to release the fear of judgment, okay? That you have to learn how to. So I'm going to give you right now an exercise that will help you learn how to validate yourself, okay? So this is what you're gonna do. Every time you feel like you need validation from other people, or you can become aware of the fact that you're looking for someone else to tell you if you're okay, so when you feel or you become aware of that you're doing it, that you're looking outside of you for validation, you're going to, you can do a meditation about this, okay? So the meditation is going to look like this. You're going to imagine, you're going to close your eyes and then imagine that there is this light that's coming from your heart, okay? This light that's like coming from your heart, and imagine that this light is actually the love of the universe. Imagine how loving you feel when you can feel that light coming from your heart. Imagine that it's a very unconditional love. It's unconditional, it's warm, it's full of empathy and compassion. It loves you so much. It's coming from your heart. You always have it in your heart. You've always had it. It's a love that's basically with no conditions whatsoever. You don't have to be anything for you to receive this love. It's just there for you all the time, at any time you want it. And so imagine that this love is showering the part of you that feels insecure, that feels like it needs to be accepted. Imagine that that part of you is being showered, is being surrounded by that love. And you can feel the connection between that part and the love that's coming. And imagine how loving that part starts to feel. Imagine that that part is starting to feel loved. The part of you that feels like insecure, that it needs any sort of validation. Imagine that this light is like whispering deep down words of, it's okay, you can be yourself, it's okay, you are okay, you are free to exist. I give you the permission to exist. You are free to be you. You are free to exist. It's okay to be yourself. It's okay to exist. You are loved. Yeah, you are so loved. And you can just feel that love merging with this part. Feel how loved that part feels. Yeah. So this is an exercise that you can do whenever you want to whenever you want to feel how loved you are, and whenever you want to practice self-love and self-acceptance on those parts that feel like they need validation, because this is what validation is. It's just acceptance and love. Okay. So now that we have that figured out, let's go to the last step. The last step, why you fear, the last step that you can take to stop fearing judgment is to become aware of what's really going on. What do I mean with this? What do I mean with becoming aware of what's really going on? I mean with it, this is what I mean with it, is that every time you are afraid of judgment, or you can feel that fear coming up of judgment, or maybe you're in front of someone that's actually judging you, or sometimes we just think that someone is judging us, so we can feel judged. So every time we feel that feeling of judgment, or that we are judged or being judged, we need to understand that the reason for this is really not even the person that's judging us, it's ourselves. You have to become aware of the fact that it's in your head. This judgment, you have it inside. Okay, it is not really outside of you, it is inside of you. You have that judgment inside of you, and you have that feeling of feeling judged inside of you. And it's just being triggered by other people. So other people can only trigger you. They're not really judging you. Sometimes they're not even judging you sometimes. You're judging yourself more than what you think. So just becoming aware of the fact that what's really going on is that you are judging yourself can really help you so much break free, because you can now work with yourself. It is not about getting someone else to stop judging us, or that it's really, you gotta know that it is you that thinks that way about yourself. It is you that feels that way about yourself. When someone is like judging you and is like, oh my god, you're this person, you're a horrible person, or whatever, or that, oh my god, such a loser, or whatever judgment they can give you, you think you're such a loser. Let me tell you this, it is in your own head. And now, once you know that you think you're such a loser, now you can come face to face with the fact that, with why do I think I'm such a loser? Why is it that this is what I think about myself? Because if you did think you were a winner, or if you did think good things about yourself, other people's judgment wouldn't affect you. This is your own trauma. You feel that shame, you feel that judgment, and those thoughts that you have, it is in your own head. You think that about yourself, but you might think that, oh my god, but it's because they affected me, they are thinking this way about me. But why is it that they make you change how you feel about yourself? Why would someone change how you see yourself? If your self-image was stable, if your self-image was a good one and if it was stable, you wouldn't change it according to what someone else thinks of you. So you have to know that this is what's really going on. It is your own work to do, okay? Also, this all is it's just about discovering who you are. You have to discover your true self, that you are a good person, that your nature is a good being, okay? You are a being of light. Once you realize who you actually are and that you came from source and that you are not a dirty being, you're not a bad person, you're a good person. Once you realize that, once you know and you discover who you are deep down, that you are courageous, you are brave, you are a winner, you're source energy, you are powerful. Once you know all these things about yourself and you discover who you are, it's very easy for you to stop caring what other people think of you because you know who you are. So really, if you want to stop caring what people think of you, for real, what you need to do is to discover who you are and to define who you are by yourself. You just need to find who you are. Okay, it's very important to find who you are. So in this video, this video came into an end, and I hope that you enjoyed it and that it helped you learn how to let go of your fear of judgment. And I love you so much. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like, leave a comment, and share my video with people that fear judgment so that they can release themselves from that fear. I love you so much. I hope to see you in the next video.